All right, here we go. What's up, everybody? I'm Zap, and this is the Life's a Circus podcast where we talk about everything that's funny, interesting, and ridiculous. Before I jump into this, obviously, very different episode. If you can help us out, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and share this video because this is crazy. I mean, there's so much to talk about. Obviously, I'm talking about the California wildfires. We're right in the middle of that. And a lot of things are different, as you can see, if you've been a fan of Bandit Future or the Life's a Circus podcast. So it's no Jericho today. Jericho is fine. I'm obviously fine. Jericho is just busy, so he's not able to participate in today's episode. So you just got me. I'm going to roll solo dolo. So also, this is a live episode, and if you can't see me squirming already, we don't usually go live. So we usually pre-record all of our podcasts, and then we put them out. So this is trying something new for 2025, and it's just me. So I am like doing 10 things at once. So if there's like hiccups and stuff, and like stuff doesn't work, it may take, it might not be solid and fluid, but I'm gonna do my thing. um I think this is on YouTube. I don't think we got Instagram set up yet, but I believe you can leave a live chat in the comments. There should be a comment section for a live chat where I can see anybody who's watching what you say in real time and react to what you say. um I think that's all I was going to say. Also, if you can hear my my throat, I also have a little bit of congestion. It's not related to the fire, but I was sick previously, and I'm kind of like getting over that. So if my voice sounds weird, if I have to stop the cough or something like that, that's what's going on. Um, so there's a whole rundown of stuff that I want to talk about today. It's going to be a very interesting episode. Obviously, not a funny episode, but we'll hit the interesting and the ridiculousness of what's happening right now in Los Angeles. I want to talk about my experience because I did experience one of the fires, and just kind of give, for a lot of people who watch us outside of California, outside of Los Angeles. You kind of hear stuff on the news, and you don't really, it might be like sensationalized to a certain degree, or it might not be as accurate as what you hear from people who like actually live here and actually going through it. So I'm going to talk about my experience. I'm going to talk about like the LA landscape and why like things like this happen. And then hopefully we have a guest come on who has also experienced this close to one of the fires. And then we're going to talk about some lessons learned, some kind of preparation that I did that personally helped me stay calm throughout the whole thing. So it's a lot to get through today. So we're just going to jump right into it. Um, as far as the fire that was near me was the I think it's called the Eaton fire. The Palisades fire, yeah, the Eaton fire, that and this was all going down this week on Tuesday. So I was just watching the Lakers, unfortunately, get destroyed by the Dallas Mavericks. So I just finished watching that game, and I was looking for a post-game show that I like to watch. And I just kept hearing this wind outside of my place. And we've had strong winds here before, but this is like it just kept getting stronger and stronger, and it felt like it came out of nowhere. Even to the point where there's like little cracks in my door, and I could hear the wind, and it made like a horn, like a warning horn sound. It was really weird. And so I had no idea what was going on. This was like late in the evening, um, on Tuesday, and the Palisades fire had already been going. I hadn't, I had no idea that was happening. I didn't heard anything. And I even texted Jericho. I was like, "Man, it's really windy out here. Like, it's crazy wind. Like, how was it at your place?" Um, and I decided to just kind of look out the window to see, how bad the wind was, and then I saw fire, and I was like, "Whoa!" So, basically, where I'm situated and where a lot of people are situated is, if you don't know, like the Southern California area, there's a very hilly area. Obviously, earthquakes and stuff that changes the terrain. So you've got a lot of hills. You have a lot of mountains. And what's crazy is we just did a video about living in Los Angeles. Totally different, but just how the uniqueness of Los Angeles, and especially like the wildlife, the climate, how you can go one direction and be in the mountains, and then another direction and be at the ocean, and then another direction and be in the desert. And it's just so much going on here. Um, so that's what we were like talking about like just a few videos ago. And I think it's interesting for the people who aren't from here to see what this looks like. So, um, Los Angeles, right? We talked about this in that video too. Los Angeles is like this little speck um, right in here, and but Los Angeles County is like this whole, section. Hopefully, you can see my mouse here. This whole section along the coast, and if you look there, you see all this green where it says Thousand Oaks and Santa Clarita, and at the top, Angeles National Forest, Mount San Antonio, um, San Bern, like all this stuff. You see all this green. These are forests and hills and mountains and all kind of stuff that can catch on fire. They said it hadn't rained here in about 8 months, and so you've probably seen on the news they've talked about it. It doesn't rain, there's the brush on the ground, and one little spark can like catch all of this stuff on fire. So you've got basically this entire greater Los Angeles area is surrounded by the ocean to the left, and then all these forests and mountains and greenery. And I said on that other episode about Los Angeles that the animals here, it's ridiculous. I'm from Alabama, and I said, I haven't seen this many animals in one place. That's not something that you think about coming to Los Angeles, but you see peacocks and chickens and parrots and coyotes and skunks and possums and raccoons and snakes and mountain lions and bears. I mean, they have like every animal here. So there's a whole forest situation going on here. And speaking of the mountains, I was literally not where the national forest is or the Palisades, but further east, where it says San Bernardino in the corner. I was actually um, on one of these mountains recently. That's me. That's like halfway up. So you can see like the grass and the vegetation, like everything is dry. You light a fire and that's gonna go up. So that's what was happening. And again, at the beginning of this, it was just wind to me. I just heard a lot of wind, and then I saw fire. The fire was about 8 miles away from me, but I could see it on top of the mountain. So again, you have the mountains around, and then you have the valleys that come down. We have the San Fernando Valley, San Gabriel Valley, all these valleys, and then you have like central LA. So if you look up, you can see, what's happening in the mountains. So I saw the wind, I saw the fire, and another thing about LA is, a lot of people get kind of nervous about the earthquakes, and I've been through, a good handful of, weather, disasters, being from Alabama, hurricanes, tornadoes. I've seen hail, I've seen snow, I've been in earthquakes. Out of all experiencing all of those, I know a lot of people are afraid of earthquakes. A hurricane is the worst, at least in my opinion. And I kind of felt that when I heard the wind here. Said it was gust up to 100 miles an hour. So that is hurricane level winds, and that's for sure. Being here over 20 years, I've never experienced that level of wind out here. And so when you have the fire combined with it, now you have it's hard to explain. It's like a rainstorm, but instead of rain is fire. It's crazy. It's like a hurricane, but instead of rain, it's fire, and it's crazy. All the stuff on the news, it's as crazy as you think it is. The pictures, everything that they show. Um, but just the level of wind. This is just around my neighborhood. Um, this entire palm tree was uprooted and just lying in the middle of the street. That's how strong the wind was, and that's why the fire was so difficult to contain. There's another picture here. This is a gate, like from a tennis court or something, that just got completely leveled. Um, so, excuse me. So the wind and with the fire, like they said on the news. I mean, it was at that point you can't contain it because the wind is just catching the fire and taking it miles and miles and miles, and just burning stuff up in its path. Like I said, the pictures were crazy. These are some of the craziest pictures that I saw online. A local McDonald's being burned. Um, Sunset Boulevard, which is one of the more iconic streets in Los Angeles, being burned as well. You have this view of the city, and it just looks like something apocalyptic or something out of a movie. Just really crazy. This was someone's view from an airplane. So, like I said, you can see the fire in the mountains, and then you can see all the lights below. So it's like the fire is coming down from the mountains to the city. And I posted a video on our channel where just the view out of my window, it looked like a volcano had erupted and the lava was coming down out of the mountains. It's a crazy scene. And then you see like the aftermath here, and like again, it looked like a bomb was dropped on the city. I mean, the whole entire neighborhood's leveled. Um, and so it's a really crazy situation. We're not like a political channel. The news is talking about the governor and the mayor, the fire chief, and all this kind of stuff. And that's important. But I kind of want to stay out of the political side of it, and just really talk about the preparedness. Because a lot of people have caught off guard, and it's something that I've been thinking about, for a long time. Just the different things that we've gone to in the U.S. and then just in California in general. It's just a very different place. There's earthquakes, There's mudslides, there's fires, and there's a lot of people concentrated in like one area. And sometimes you have to think of, stop and think about this stuff. And it's like, okay, you got millions of people, concentrated together. If something goes down, like, what am I going to do? Um, and so, in this situation, I kind of patted myself on the back a little bit because I had been doing a lot of different things to prepare for a lot of different scenarios and to make sure that um sorry, make sure that I'm okay, during some different types of scenarios. One thing that I was really happy that I did was to get a portable generator. And I bought this like maybe a couple of years ago, and it was a lifesaver because once the wind started picking up, and pretty much soon after I saw the fire out of my window, our power went out, and my power was out for like a couple of days. There was a basically on the maps where they were showing there was a red evacuation zone. There was for like mandatory evacuations. There was like a yellow zone where like it's kind of a not a warning but a watch, like you could be next. And right below that yellow zone was me. So thankfully I could see that and kind of prepare, you know. But the power went out, and I used that generator, and everybody was dark, but I had lights, and I didn't get anything cheap. I bought a really good generator. It could be electric, or you can charge it up and then use it, or you can use solar power. And it had several plugs in it. I plugged in all my lamps. I plugged in my phone. I had electricity. I even cooked dinner. I plugged my microwave to that thing and cooked dinner, and like I was cool. So that was like the number one lifesaver for me because think about everything runs on electricity. Especially you want to get to your cell phone, stuff like that. You don't want your battery to die in times of in times like this. Another thing that I had that I didn't have to use, and I'm glad I didn't have to use it. If you saw in the news, and this might be extreme, but it's just what something that I had, and I just for certain situations. Um, there were people who were trying to get out of the city, and that's another scenario where I was thinking, okay, all these people, they're going to try to get out of the city at the same time. It's impossible. you know um the traffic is on a daily basis, it's at a standstill. So everyone's trying to leave at once. You're just not going to get out of here in a car, right? So they had people who were really in the thick of things in the Palisades fire who were getting out of their cars, and they had to just leave their car because the traffic wasn't moving. You can't get anywhere. So I actually have a folding bicycle. It folds in half, and it just lives in my trunk. Um, just for any kind of scenario where I got to get out of my car and get somewhere. I don't have to be on foot and walk around. I can just uh get on my car and ride. And it's another form of transportation that is accessible to me if I need it. I also recently just bought a electric bike too. Doesn't fit in my car, but it's something at home if I need to, like, you know, be mobile without a car. We'll do a whole nother video on that because that thing, I'm really enjoying that thing, and it's really cool just to have it. Um, but like, yeah, the generator, of alternative forms of transportation and even communication. Um, if something happens and the cell phone towers go down, there's satellite phones and all kind of other stuff. I don't have one of those, but that's something that I'm looking into. Um, Food, water. I'd been stacking up food and water, for months. Again, didn't really need it, but this is just stuff that you think about. storage. Where do you put things? Is everything? Some people, it's really sad to see. And you hear a lot from the celebrities. Mel Gibson lost everything he had. JJ Redick lost everything he had. Um, Paris Hilton, Anthony Hopkins, James Woods. All these celebrities, because again, in that area, um, there's a lot of affluent people. This like where the Palisades is, Calabasas. There's a city called Calabasas. There, a lot of celebrities live in these areas. It's a little more secluded. There's not people bothering you. It's hard to get to you. And it's right near the beach. It's expensive property, millions and millions of dollars for these homes. So that's why you see a lot of celebrities affected by it, because they lived up to here. Same thing in the Hollywood Hills. That's kind of like in this area here. Um, so there's something to be said about, where you put your things and where you have your value. Unfortunately, uh, a growing number of people lost their lives in this situation. And, you know, fortunately, a lot of people were like, kind of said the same thing. The stuff can be replaced, you can be not. And so, shout out to all the people who heeded the evacuation order. And, it's a tough situation. Fortunately, I was so close. I was literally packing my things to continue on with this list of preparedness. That's another thing that I did beforehand, because you get in these situations and you panic, and you don't know, you don't think straight a lot of times. What's important, what to grab, do I have time, all this stuff. I'd already made a list of stuff that I needed to grab, the order that I needed to grab it in. Um, and everything from like records and documents to electronics. And about halfway through the night, uh, again, I put on a live stream of just my view out the window, just in case anything happened. But you can hear a lot of rumbling in that video, and that's just me packing, bro. Because like I was literally packing. I was going through that list and packing up, and I didn't know if I was going to have to leave, but I was going to be prepared because I had the fortunate opportunity to prepare. A lot of people didn't prepare. They left in the morning to go to work, and they came home and their house wasn't there, which is a crazy scenario. But it's something to think about. It's something, to, take a lesson from, disaster preparedness, in addition to just finding out, what to do in these situations. But, just having that list just made me so much more calm. I was not frantic. People were, "Are you okay?" All this stuff. And I was totally fine. I was totally calm. Um, I was hoping to have a guest on today. I don't think he has been able to make it. So I'm just going to close out with this stuff. There's a lot of resources that are available. The homie Casey on Facebook sent me this information. So I just want to share that with anybody who's in the Los Angeles area, who needs assistance. There's a lot of assistance from a lot of different organizations happening. Let's see if I can see this better here on my phone. So this is where to find information. You got the Los Angeles Fire Department, LAFD Foundation, Watch Duty app, at Ready LA County, and at NWS for real-time weather alerts. And there's human evacuation shelters, Westwood Recreation Center. You can go to El Camino Real Charter High School or the Pasadena Convention Center. And if you have any questions or you can't really see this, you can message or leave a comment or something. I'll make sure you get this information. These are some animal evacuation shelters. Again, like you see in that previous video, there's a lot of animals here, a lot of farms here, horses, goats, uh, dogs, cats. This is where you can take your animals. Um, this is ways to, what does this say? This is blocked on my screen. Ways to this is how to volunteer. Okay. So you volunteer Canine Rescue Club for pets. You've got MySafe LA, with partners with the LA Fire Department, Volunteer County of Los Angeles, also the American Red Cross. I think I shared that before, as well. And then this last one is donations. Yes. All right. So you got the Community Foundation's Wildlife Recovery Fund, California Fire Foundation, Habitat for Humanity of Greater Los Angeles Fire Department Foundation, and World Central Kitchen. And then there's also I found some other things. I think I don't see it here, but I know it was okay. I don't have it on the screen. But there's an organization, since we are musicians, any fellow musicians out there, there's an organization called Music Cares. It's offering anyone who works in the music business, if you worked for 5 years or longer, they have an immediate assistance of $1,500, $1,500 of financial assistance, and $500 of food vouchers. You can reach out to them at Music Cares Relief at musiccares.org. Or you can call them at 1-800-687-4227. I think that's going to be it for today. I know we covered a lot. Once again, prayers out to everyone who has lost. Thankfully, Jericho and I, Band of Future, we are okay. I was very close to evacuation, but fortunately, did not have to evacuate. As always, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and share this video. There's a lot of information in here, especially. Not only will that help a lot of people, that will help us to grow this channel and continue to get better and, progress on this YouTube journey. And once again, everybody, stay safe. Prayers out for LA. And I'll see you on the next podcast. Thank you.